we've been talking about concentration. And as the world opens up and begins to speed up, we could benefit from developing some of the skills of concentration, of tranquility, the skills of steadying and calming and soothing. From a steady platform, we can see and feel and respond skillfully. From a less reactive place, we can see and feel and respond more skillfully. And in meditation, seeing clearly is necessary so that we can respond skillfully, more skillfully, and navigate the storms of emotions so that we can stay safe and stay afloat. And in meditation, it's for also setting up the conditions for investigation. I can't look at anything more closely unless I'm holding it steady enough to do so. So that's what concentration is doing for us. It's creating that steady platform for us to see what's going on. So this steady base that it's creating also has a particular tone. And Bill's been talking about that this week, this tone of care. And we talk about that a lot because that quality of care is deeply important as we set up this foundation for looking. And as we practice and keep engaging that steadiness of attention, we use it to soothe and to settle the rev of our nervous systems when they get jangled. We do this by widening the aperture of attention, like maybe looking at the sky or opening to sounds in the room, or by narrowing the aperture of attention, zeroing in or focusing on the breath or focusing on body sensations, something a little more smaller. And we do this very much. I like to think about photography because we know that we have to steady the camera and then we decide where are we going to focus the picture? Where do we want the focus to be? Zeroed in, more panoramic. Concentration, it tries to keep things more simple. Narrow it down to singular objects or to smaller fields of attention. And by resting attention there, by returning there, like a hummingbird returning to that flower, like that, attention learns to stay a little steadier, a little more in the vicinity, with a little less effort. If I'm gripping my attention with fear, well, it's more likely to limit my ability to really maneuver well, right? I'm going to be reactive and jumpy and, not quite so smooth. However, if I pause, if I take a breath, if I steady myself in the here and now, maybe take out my map and see, where am I? I might have a better chance to figure out where I am on the path and figure out my next steps. As the world opens up, concentration practice can be quite helpful. This is what mindful stress reduction practices utilize: calming and settling. They encourage and support this calming, soothing, and settling down in the present moment, where we can catch our breath, where we can see what's going on, where we can figure out the best way to respond and minister to what ails us right now. And this is really necessary when we're navigating meditation. So often we get caught off balance, right? How quickly can we right the ship? How quickly can we resteady ourselves, smooth it out in there for our well-being and for those who we're relating to? Or when we're sitting in meditation practice and the mind wanders away, gets lost in thinking or in daydreaming or regret or worry. Can you feel those stirrings? The rattle of that? Now, can you take a breath and come on back in here and rebuild that holding environment? Quiet it down, steady it down, smooth out the ripples of disturbance. Come back in and regroup. Begin again from that calmer, steadier place. Out of this steadiness, we really can figure out what we need to do. We've paused, we've come in for a landing. We've found ourselves standing on the path, standing on the ground, in our bodies. And we can see, I'm right here. Oh, I want to get back on the road over there. Oh, let me do it over here. Let me follow my way back there. Right? And all of that because we've come in for a landing. So no. Before we rush on, which is our way, generally we tend to tumble forward with anxiety, tumble forward trying to rush to get to the next place. Right? Instead of that scramble, can we just settle back? Smooth it out. And how might we do that? Well, there are a lot of ways there are many different concentration practices. So we might use, let's say, a mantra, words so that the mind can rest attention on the words and allow the phrases to register inside, in the heart and in the body. We might rest attention on the sky when our minds are really busy or our bodies are in pain. We might rest attention on something that just feels a little less activating, like just listening to the birds outside or watching the squirrels. We might rest attention on the flow of sensations of the breath. Or if we feel like we need a slightly stronger tether, we might count our breath. Right? Just to steady ourselves in the present moment. Or we could rest our attention on the moment-to-moment experience of body sensations, or on the whole of the body as it's sitting here right now, just how it's sitting here. Any one of these things begins to, now we can steady ourselves. The mind is really scattered, but I have a place where I can come back to. The breath, body sensations, sounds, I can come back here and I can rebuild and stabilize. What do you need to steady yourself? That will change all the time, but invite that line of questioning. What do you need when the mind is busy or scattered? What do you need when the body is restless or tired? Let's find a focus of attention that helps you to feel a bit more balanced, a bit more steady, and that smooths things out into a little bit more calmness. This is a specific skill, this skill of calming and soothing. And soothing also serves another really important function in the practice. You see, it restores, it rejuvenates, it refreshes. It reinforces the organism and strengthens the foundation, not into a rigid posture, but into a posture that allows us to stay in the vicinity, that allows us to resettle, let go of the tensions, come back and feel for something that feels a bit more balanced and steady. This is the kind of foundation that's going to be more useful to us as we move along in our practice. The more we can stabilize a foundation that's not rigid, but that's pliable, that can hold the space of what's really happening, that's the kind of foundation that's safe and that will help the practice to unfold. We can do this. It's for our welfare. So today in our meditation practice, we're going to play with momentary concentration, with moving attention between two objects. And my encouragement would be, let's go with the breath or breathing, the body breathing, and sound. Sound. The breath or the body breathing and sound. This trains attention to steady itself on an object momentarily, long enough to recognize, to notice and name what is being seen and felt. Oh, I can feel the breath. Breathing feels like this. And then we settle there. And then we shift out and hear the sound of a bird from outside. And we pause long enough to notice and name that sound. And take a breath, come on back in, right? Back and forth. Okay.